Morning.
Good morning. Here we are, episode 13. Shane and Ray, Energized You, question and answers. So we've got a particularly interesting topic today, and I like this idea of people saying, "Are you feeling a bit antsy?" What does it mean?
Okay.
But there's a acronym called ANTS, and that is Automatic Negative Thoughts Syndrome. So I've been doing some study and research. There's a gentleman I'd like to find out, Dr. Daniel Amen. There's a link down there. People can actually look up and do a brain assessment for themselves.
Oh, great.
So this character in America...
That's a great idea for me here at the gym. Jesus.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. We're going to do that. I like that.
This doctor in America did over 150,000 brain scans in 120 different countries and came up with what sort of things affect people. So today we're going to look at those automatic negative thoughts that you have rattling around in your head that stop you doing what you really want to do, that prevents you achieving what you want to achieve.
Oh, I love it.
And so,
and guys, I will add, this is raised, 100% raised today. I love it. It's really funny how it's really gone mindset-y. We started thinking about, originally the plan of this was talking about nutrition, training, physical body, but I think this is sort of turning into the mindset Q&A, which is great. I think it's the number one hindrance and also the number one effect of going where you want to go. You know what I mean? Like, if your mind's not in the right place, you're not going to do what you want to do to get where you want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is amazing. I've never heard of this before too, so I'm super intrigued.
One of my mentors, Bob Proctor, says, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
Love it.
And so if you think about everything that has ever been created in society, started with a thought, which is why we've spent so much time on mindset. Yeah. If you can think it, you can create it, or at least go towards that. So we're going to look at different areas that I think are really important to people, and that is your physical health. I mean, we're here operating in a Living Longer Younger clinic inside of Shane's Beyond Transformations gym. So the whole emphasis is about being better. So we're looking at if you have a stronger body, stronger mind, stronger spirit. So think of that: strong body, strong mind, strong spirit, and how we can break that down. And so we look at physical health, our mental health. We also want to look at our family health, because that's important to us as well. We want to look at things like the society health, your community health, and the importance of community in whatever you're doing there as well. And your spiritual health. For me, that's your purpose. Like Shane's very much a man on purpose, a man on fire. He sets his mind to things. You can just see him going for that. Shane, I would say, is of that sample or example. I think of okay, here's a cliff, I'm going to jump off it. Shane, don't jump. I'll build my wings on the way down. It's like, boom, there's the thing, we'll just make it happen. So we quite often get caught up in how am I going to do that?
Yeah, just do it and work it out.
So Shane's different, more of a, through the action you'll work out.
Yeah. Well, that's probably interesting. It's probably my learning style too. Because so many people will watch content like this and read books and go to seminars, that's how they learn. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I learned like that. I learn by doing. You know what I mean? I have to physically. I'm this very kinesthetic learner. I'm not good at visual. I'm not good at Jiu Jitsu. The only way I learned was by doing it.
Absolutely.
Hours on the mat. I didn't learn anything. A lot of these guys that go and watch YouTube and they're pulling berimbolos and flying loop chokes, and for me it was just being on the mat. I don't know. And I think that comes down to when you're talking about going down this mindset path is self-awareness. What sort of learner are you? What is triggering your positive thoughts? What triggers your negative thoughts, and how do you deal with it? So I think that's probably a good topic to go down.
It is. It's all that negative stuff that happens on. And look, inside of all of us, people say, get in touch with the child within. Well, there is this character, but I think it's more of a unfiltered adolescent who just wants to do anything without any considerations for others, very narcissistic, going on, and that's one little voice in your head. And then there's the other one, is the wise sage saying,
slow down, plan
should you do that? Should you jump off that cliff?
I think.
And so there's all that happens in there, and so these automated negative thoughts that come up all the time, they're like ants crawling around in your brain, annoying you.
And I would say probably a big part of why I do things is I come from an optimistic approach, you know what I mean? Because I think one of the biggest things that holds, like automatic negative thought, I really like, Greg, we were talking about this last night and this morning, and I think the reason why people don't do is because they have a thought process of why they can't do it rather than why they can. You know, it's so crazy. Like, I don't have any, like, there's certain things, like, you know, like, I'm petrified of heights. I would never jump out of an airplane. My granddad, who's 80 years old, offered to jump out of a plane with me, and I said no. He's 80, he did it, and I didn't. So that's probably an automated negative thought of my own. But when it comes to anything else in life, my business, my training, my health, it's all go, and learn on the way. You know what I mean? And I think that's a massive hindrance for a lot of people. You know, it's like it's why they can't do it rather than why they should do it or can do it. You know?
Well, we get this whole fear syndrome, and you know, fear can be an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And that's what we've all been there. We think, I get so scared about something. So I think there are certain questions you need to sort of ask yourself when you're blocked. So look, you know, we work in a society here where you know, obesity, overweight is becoming so prevalent.
It's huge.
And it does affect our whole brain function. And in fact, Harmon talks about that the more weight you put on, they've got statistics now showing that the heavier you get, the smaller your brain physical size and function.
That makes so much sense.
So
that makes so much sense.
The brain is made up of...
The brain is
made up of 60% fat, and that's good fat.
It's not visceral fat.
That's not. It's not like the white visceral fat that we get here. It's healthy, and so therefore, you know, to help you just in diet-wise, we need good, healthy fats going in all the time. Your avocados, your coconut,
almonds,
fish-based fats, animal-based fats, things like that. Things that will actually develop it, and then you will think better. So if you're thinking better, your brain's functioning better, you're likely to have less of these negative thoughts. So what I ask you to do is sort of go into these areas and look at the last one was financial, those areas that tend to either stress us or we want to be healthy in. So it's physical, the mental, the family, the society, the spiritual and the financial. So we all know that we say money doesn't create happiness. However, you know, money can help you.
Money creates opportunity.
Absolutely, and that's what it does. And I've always thought, well, look, I'd rather be wealthy and miserable than poverty and miserable.
Jesus.
So we know money has a function, and it does unfortunately affect us. Once again, onto that fear syndrome. So ask yourself some questions, really, like let's say you're having the
So right, I know, let's get practical here. You know what I mean? Let's get practical. Cool. So I think, because I've got about 3 or 4 minutes, guys, where I've got to wrap this up. So let's talk about financial. Good one. Okay, so let's talk about financial. So we've got a list of questions here that we ran through last night. So let's talk about financial, like going bankrupt. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's going bankrupt, it's more like the fear. I fear I'm going to go bankrupt. So the first question you ask yourself, well, is that true?
True.
So in your mind, if you know that's where you're heading, well, it's your perception. You know, is that true that I'm going to go bankrupt or go into deep financial distress as such? And then the second question is, so is it 100% certain that that's where you're going to end up? And as long as you can say, well, no, it's not 100% certain, something might happen. You might say, I'll win the lottery, or I'll get a new job, or something will come in that. So the next thing is, well, okay, if you feel that is true, if you feel that I'm heading down the path of total financial distress and bankruptcy, how do you feel? So what sort of emotions would come up for you?
Oh, well, I think let's go from the start, because I love this because I'm just so optimistic. I think it comes. Is it true? It's absolutely not true. Yeah, it's like you may have a property development that goes under, but you can work yourself back to so inches the next. Get another job, sell your house. So there's always, and this is where automatic negative thought syndrome, and I see it, like I could go on for 3 days about weight loss clients, but I'm not going, It's all about money. So is it true? Absolutely not. You can go and get another job, you sell your house, you sell your car, you go for a loan, you ask your family, there's so many other things. The second question is 100% certain, absolutely not. You know, let's be optimistic about going bankrupt here. You know, I've never been bankrupt, and I hope I never will be, touch wood, okay? You know, it's absolutely not. Like, you do not have to, it's your choice to be bankrupt. It's your choice, you know what I mean? You can do 100 different things to prevent it, stop it, get yourself out of it, but it's a choice. Now the next question is, how do I feel about it? Like, I would feel like failure if I did go bankrupt, so that would motivate me to drive myself to get out of that situation. You know what I mean? It's amazing how fear traps a lot of people. For me, angst and pain drives me. It's like, you know what? It's a bit of a chip on the shoulder thing. Like, I don't.
So in that whole fight and flight syndrome of our sympathetic nervous system, you come up more as the fighter rather than the fleer.
Yes.
And that's the difference, because it's appreciated that some of us go into the fear. So it's fight, flight, or freeze is the idea. Some of us go freeze or run away.
I like adversity. Yeah. I deal with it every day. Look, I have 140 weight loss clients. Jesus, the amount, man, there's some challenges in there, you know.
That's why we have to say.
And that's why we look apart, but like there's some challenges in there, and I think this is something that would be, all this content is something we really need to sort of maybe do a talk with our clients, because it's super interesting. It's really having a look at.
Well, hopefully they're listening.
Yeah, well, that, but I think physically, getting in the room. And the next question is, if it's true, how do you react to it? So if I went bankrupt, I would do everything possible to get out of it. Okay, like I said, I would work Uber, drive 3 jobs. I'd sell everything I own. I'd ask for a loan. I'd do anything possible to get out of it. And then, and then if you go, how do you feel about it if you flip it over? I think I feel the right way. I think a lot of other people go the other way and crawl into a hole and think that it's going to solve itself, which is not. The only thing that gets you out of the problem is action. Anything, especially about money. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. Go and get a job. Or sell stuff on the internet, or drive Uber, or there's ways to ask for a loan. There's so many positive ways, and everyone chooses a negative way. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people. It's a choice of people as well. But I guess the thing is, how do you, if you're in that feeling of, I'm heading for total financial, how do you react to the people around you? I mean, does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel abundant?
How would it make me feel? That's a good question.
Well, I think it's more like, how are you interacting in your community?
I'd probably make me go quite internal, you know what I mean, to deal with it. I don't spread my problems like my partner. I don't take my work home. I go home and that's time for me and her to spend time together. So that's probably how I deal with it. But I think it's also when we're trying to provide value and get people things, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to deal with it?
Exactly.
That's just how I deal with things, and I think I have the fight or flight. I'm definitely fighting problems. I don't sit there and bankruptcy is not something that's going to go away. You just can't sit there and think and dream about it, and then you wake up the next day and go, oh wow, I'm not bankrupt anymore. So
absolutely,
anyway, so I think we might have to wrap it up at that.
Let's just look at that. So the final thing is, what if that original thought, something you thought was true, you totally flipped that around? And said to yourself, well, the opposite of, what's the opposite? I'm going to go bankrupt. I'm going to be financially independent.
That's right, or I'm going to be, wealthy.
That's it, and just think of that as the way of turning it around. So each time that you get these negative thoughts, these automated negative thoughts, you can go through it. It might be just some little things, or it might be on dramatic, life-changing things. But we hope that helps, a little bit of suggestion for you.
Guys, also, number 1 if you're watching live, and number 2 if you're watching this pre-recorded too.
And any further questions, please put them in the comments. Please share these videos around if you think they'll be useful for us.
Really appreciate it.
See you next time. Bye.